heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello, gorgeous.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
All right, 13 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in as we moved into the new year. I know a lot of you were thinking, for my New Year's resolution or what I'm going to do in 2016, I'm going to take a trip. And you started planning for your trip. You started figuring out how much it's going to cost, how much do you need to put away now so that you can have the money for your trip. And you've heard this before, too, that we plan a 2-week vacation more than we plan anything else in our lives, including money for college. And so I want to talk about that right now because we have a guest who has written a wonderful book about this. Her name is Reyna Gobel. She is an education contributor to Forbes magazine. Her credentials include writing for Money Magazine, Real Simple, and The Washington Post. She's an advice columnist and a curriculum development specialist for iGrad. Her book is called Cliff's Notes, Parents' Guide to Paying for College and Repaying Student Loans. Reyna Gobel. Good morning, Reyna.
Good morning. So nice to be here.
Thank you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn?
From a coffee shop. Yeah.
From a coffee shop?
Oh,
man.
Where else would you call from in Brooklyn? You should always be at a coffee shop, just in general, which is always one of my big points. Don't give up your coffees. Just watch the things that you don't love. Try to save on car insurance, compare your rates. Be conscious of the spending that you don't want, like the appetizer plate. The appetizer plate is always a big thing. It's like $10, $15 because you're ordering with ooh, that sounded great, and then you never end up eating half of it. And then if you do, you just got to buy more clothes because your pants size increases.
Right. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. You don't give up the one thing that is important to you. It might be coffee for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, totally. It's just like if, just with eating in general, if you're I'm giving up sweets, all sweets, and then all you wanted was one cookie, and then by the time you're done, 2 days later you're having 5 because you're craving it for 2 days. Just have your one cookie.
So my opening statements about the fact that we plan for these vacations way more than we plan for our college is absolutely true. I think most of us don't plan a whole lot, especially for our children. And I love the fact that in the book you tell parents, here's what you can do, and here's what you can ask your child to do, your teenage child.
Yeah.
That's good because it gets them involved. They see they're working toward their own future.
Yeah, that's completely true. And you know what? The best thing about the child looking towards their future is it's not about just you have to give every dime of your part-time job to this when, they want to drive a car, they want to do these things. But you don't give in and say, you're going to go to the most expensive school you can and we're going to pay for it. And you're the last person accepted because your grades weren't that great. Work on your grades. Work on the scholarships. Even parents that have 0 that they can contribute, they could be saving by helping their kid with a scholarship search and meeting with a high school counselor and doing those things that could net more money than if they save $5, $10 a month. So it's really an effort of doing a lot of things. And one thing I love about the book, and in pretty much anything I do, is the budgeting aspect. If you save on your budget and you start prioritizing spending, and also teaching your child about prioritizing spending, because that's going to be with them their whole lives, even if they have some college debt, they're going to be better on their credit cards and everything else because they've learned how to spend correctly. And then the other part of it is when it comes to researching universities, net price calculators that are available on almost any university site will tell you about what your child can expect scholarship-wise from the school because they may end up spending more for a community college than they would if they went to a private school that's going to offer them a lot of scholarships.
Right.
And it may be that family makes a really decent income, but they have the grades or they have something else that says this is something that we want. It may be diversity. I know that I received a lot of scholarship offers for being a girl that was good in math. And so I got all sorts of engineering scholarship offers. Now, that wasn't what I needed or a direction I needed to go, which is another point. Don't choose a major based on what makes the most money because then your kids get change majors, stay in school for 5 years, and you just spent $20,000.
Right. Good point, yeah.
I have a very good friend that is a professional actor, and his dad told him, you've got to do something practical. You've got to do engineering. And he was doing community theater in high school. And then in college, he did theater on the side. He hated engineering, but he did an English and a poli-sci major because they're like anything but acting. He just bought a condo based on his acting. So really
there you go.
make sure that that your kid's doing the career experience. If they're putting the work into it, let them major in anything that they want. He probably should have been doing a double major in like English and acting because he does screenwriting now as well. And that would be very practical. So find a way to help your kid do what they want. Don't do anything
It's
by
hard.
Don't pick a school by the internet.
Yeah, it's hard as a parent to really know whether you're trying to do the right thing by steering a child away from a career in sports or entertainment, because it so often sounds like it could be disastrous. In your friend's case, it sounds like it worked out nicely. Do you know
That's what double majors are for, and that they're putting in the effort. If they're that into sports, they should be interning with a local sports team or volunteering for the college football team, whatever it is. But if they're not showing that effort, they don't deserve your money for that major.
Exactly.
Reyna,
or any major.
The book makes me think of two different people, and it's the parents of the child who is 15 or the parents of the child that is 1. Because the parents of the child who is 1, they've got, a good 16, 17 years before they start to need to really worry about this. But if they start then, how much better are they? So I know, I don't know if every state in the country has this, but in Florida they have a thing called
a prepaid college
prepaid
program.
college, which you can start.
Not every, about 10 states do.
Only 10, okay.
Tuition, where you buy basically future tuition at today's prices.
Yeah.
Those are great options because you can also use them for schools beyond the state school as a credit. So you're not really locking yourself into going to a state school. So I think those are great options. But you are better off if you start early. However, it is never too late to start because you can combine the money with scholarship search. You can also use You Promise, where you get back a percentage of what you're spending online. Have family do the same thing. You can send out, whether it's depending on the program you have for the 529 plan, which is college savings, you can send out invites to ask for graduations, for birthdays, for all these different things, for people to contribute to that.
To the 529 plan. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and they have codes from the 529 plan, so you can just put it on a cute e-bite. But like for grandparents or people that ask you, like, oh, but I want the kids to play with a toy. You know what everyone loves? I love, Barney's the actor loves, bubbles. Get the kids bubbles.
That's right.
And you know what? You're making a really good point. I'll tell you what, because I'm already old enough that my children are grown. But I can remember when I was younger and the children were younger, I spent $100 on this Mickey Mouse computer, which this is before computers were in everybody's hand.
Yeah, they were toys.
And it was a toy, basically. And then I spent like $1 on a Play-Doh game. Play-Doh, the toy, the gook.
And that's what they wanted.
That was the favorite gift. Yeah, that was the favorite gift.
And it was just as good for them. I used to babysit when I was like 20, this little girl who had $100 a day allowance.
Wow.
I made paper mache with her. She loved it. I blew bubbles. I used to draw with her. She did not need $100 a day allowance. She was happy with things that cost $2.
Wow,
Sure.
$6 a day allowance. I can't imagine
Well,
that.
one of the wonderful things you're doing with your book is for teaching the students to take responsibility, because now in government, they are talking about just, forgiving all of the student loans. And that's not right, because if you're going to go to college and you apply for scholarships and you supplement with the student loans, you have to pay it back, because that's the real world.
And here is also the danger in that. They're never really going to forgive all student loans. That's not going to happen. So you have to be prepared just in case. Yes, there might be some sort of free tuition, but they're still living expenses. And that's what gets most people in trouble. So I think I had just started a website, College Savings, anxietycrusher.org, and it's both in the book and on the site information about the big mistakes people make, which is filling out the FAFSA, which, because it's also the pathway for scholarships and everything, but the free application for financial aid is really the pathway to the scholarships. It's not just about student loans. So everybody should be reading that article. I also have a sample from the book on the website, which has the financial aid award letters. So you can pair things appropriately. And I I'm saying goodbye to my friends at the coffee house.
Yeah, I could hear that. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Tell them to button up. I heard it was cold in Brooklyn
Yeah.
today. Yeah. Make sure they button up, okay?
Oh, hold on, I'll tell them. Hi, the radio people told you guys to button up because it's cold.
Oh, she's such fun.
That's funny.
Can you repeat that website again?
collegesavingsanxietycrusher.org. And the big thing is from that is that the the award letters are so confusing, and you need to be able to compare because grants and scholarships can mean the same thing or they can be completely different. There are grants where you still have to maintain a certain GPA, but you just think it's free money. I have a form so that they can actually compare what's what. And it makes the kids call and ask questions because you can't pick a school online. It takes me 3 hours to find an outfit. You've got to spend more time on that than to pick a college.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
read the FAFSA article because the FAFSA, the earlier you submit it, if you wait till next month, you may miss out on some of the early scholarships if you've got kids that are in school right now. That is a true thing. A lot of things are first come, first served. When it comes to state grants, university grants, how you do that FAFSA is a big deal. So really read that article. And then what the website's set up for is that we're working on right now fundraising to do a free video game for college savings.
Oh, really?
So,
really? Now,
yeah, teach kids about it.
One of the
It's
things.
going to be the first one ever.
One of the things that might not even be somebody as knowledgeable about this subject, you might not even realize that a lot of parents don't even know what a FAFSA is. They never even heard of it before. So when it comes time to looking for money for their children, it's like all these new words and acronyms become part of their
yeah, and it's
yeah.
And that's why you ask questions. That's why you have a high school counselor to help you. You can always tweet me questions. I answer everything. Anything that comes to me on Twitter, I answer. And then you're helping other parents as well, and that's at Reyna Gobel. So you can always ask me questions or your high school counselor. And then if your high school counselor is not answering questions that you want, although the one thing I will say often the reason why is because you don't know the right questions. They can't give you the right answer without the right question.
Right.
So you really need to know what you're talking about. Go in there armed with the information in the book, and you'll be so much better off. And it's amazing how much money is out there, especially if you know. And a friend of mine, she does a lot of speeches, and she was talking to me about how a lot of times underprivileged students won't apply to a school that may give them a heck of a lot of scholarships because they don't want to pay the application fee. An application fee of $50 can cost someone $10,000.
Thank you for being on there. Thank you for writing the book. I have a copy of the book, Parent's Guide to Paying for College and Repaying Student Loans. Call me if you want the copy that was sent to me. The rest of us have to go buy it. And Reyna, give us a real quick website. Is it
collegesavingsanxietycrusher.org? And just a quick note, it was just picked by Michelle Singletary in 300 newspapers as one of the financial books that she recommends.
Oh, congratulations on that. Now, button up, Reyna, before you go outside. It's cold in Brooklyn.
I will. I'm layered. Thank you.
Good luck with everything, and definitely come back.
Sure will.
We'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
President Obama delivers his last State of the Union address tomorrow.
White House spokesman Josh Earnest said the president's wish list for 2016 will be extensive.
Some of that is business that we'd like to get done with Congress.
The president has said that if he does not get congressional approval for closing the prison at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, he may use his executive authority to do it himself.
Fox Radio's John Decker. Lots of folks catching Powerball fever with the jackpot up to an estimated $1.3 billion. This North Carolina woman giving into temptation.
I am a deacon at the church and I'm gambling.
The drawing is Wednesday.